Hey guys, Janet here, aka Gameonysus, and today we are going to be talking about the GameCube HDMI adapter. And on this episode, I also have Edwin with me. You may remember him from the Retro Brawler 64 video, so my brother Edwin has joined us, because I actually bought this guy for his birthday. It was not a surprise though, unlike the Brawler 64 controller. He knew about it. I ordered it in front of him because birthdays have lost all magic and mystery because we're old. But it's still really, really exciting. It's something that I know he's wanted for a while, and that I definitely appreciate the things I've seen from this product already, just having looked online, and looking forward to checking it out. But before we do any of that, Edwin, do you want to kind of talk about what this device is, how you found out about it, how it works?
Sure.
We can open it, and then we'll test it out.
Okay, so I grew up with the GameCube, and I loved it when it was actually, commercially relevant. I had a great time with it. It was like the last time I was anywhere close to a child, a high school, a teenager with less responsibility. So very nostalgic for the system. Also, I love it. I think its top games can compete with any system pretty much. So yeah, but unfortunately with time, as many things age and don't age well, especially technology, right? The GameCube just kind of lacks that HD support, the ability to play it at a high capacity. It really struggles with. Usually your options right now just generically are S-video and component cables. The composite cables are very expensive because Nintendo released them late into the life of the GameCube, so they didn't release too many, and also people weren't interested because they already were looking forward to the PS3, Xbox 360, and even the Wii. So for that reason, those cables, if you look on eBay, Amazon, anything, they're usually about $200, which is extreme for cables that do give it clearly a better picture, but still not quite at like an HDMI level or anything like that. Just probably the best option if you want to play truly from the GameCube. So until recently, it's been kind of unfortunate. It's like, you either got to shell, if you really love the GameCube and really want to get the best picture you can and want to invest in the system, you pretty much had to pay that $200 or just be stuck with the old S-video composite component cable, so that was the problem. But recently, products like this have arrived on the market. There's a few other people too that have made a few. I don't remember the names for those, but it's okay because we're not reviewing those. But yeah, a few of these products have come out, which basically solves the problem of, hey, you can either modify your GameCube or we can do a HDMI input that actually is not just an input, but actually enhances the image and makes it as good as those component cables are, or even better, depending on who you talk to, or what you want, whether you want crisper blacks or you want a clearer screen. And different people will like different things out of their image quality. But this definitely is helping resolve that issue. It is a little bit pricey. It's around $150. We can talk about why I think it's worth it or not worth it once we kind of do a review of it. But I'm really excited because I consider myself a quote-unquote hardcore GameCube fan. That's why I play the system. And this is really I don't think it's for the average or just someone who's like, hey, I just like to boot it up sometimes. This is kind of for someone who wants to invest in the system. It really loves the GameCube, intends on playing, half a dozen to more games in the next couple years, which is what I want to do. I want to kind of beat up all those games and play it a lot more now. And this should hopefully give me a really good image and make me very happy with investing in the system and playing the games.
Yeah, and I think this comes at a really good time for us because we recently started playing the GameCube again a lot, just because the other day at one point...
Lots of melee.
Yeah, too much melee. A lot of melee. Basically every day at some point, like a couple tournaments, small tournaments, but still. Yeah, we've, we had the original GameCube that we had as kids, which I think you also had the black one as a kid.
Yeah, that's why I bought the black one again.
So this one is one that Edwin bought again recently because we had gotten rid of all our old game systems. It's the 7th one of the ones available at the store at the time. So he's had this for a while, and then he's just like, you know what, like, I feel like playing some GameCube. So we set it up in my room, which is a little bit more... my room's kind of just more set up to like game in, just because of how my TV is positioned than Edwin's room. And then I'm like, why don't we just leave it plugged in here and play it? So we've been playing it a lot. Definitely a lot of Smash. Edwin played a little bit of Luigi's Mansion.
A lot of Luigi's Mansion. I'm about halfway into it.
Okay.
So, yeah.
I didn't realize that you played more than that one night that you were playing?
Yeah.
Okay. I know you just got the first Resident Evil game, which I've never actually played through. Yeah, Prince of Persia. So this comes at a really good time. I mean, I know Edwin's had his eye on this product for a while, but now feels like the perfect time to like, hey, we brought the GameCube back to life. Like, let's bring it kind of not just back to life, but better than it was before in a lot of senses. And look, it comes in this adorable little packaging, and it's made by a company called Eon. So I like how the packaging itself looks like a GameCube. I think that's really cute. And then we'll open it up in a second, but just kind of recap the stuff that's on the back, kind of laundry list of what this product is. You get to play these GameCube games on a HD TV. Eliminates all input lag. These are things that it promises. Compatible with any HDMI-enabled display. Outputs the highest native resolution and no additional modding required. So you'll notice that, like, the highest native resolution, it's not like this doesn't make this look like, like a Wii U or a Switch or anything like that, but it just kind of takes what the GameCube already has going for it visually and just kind of enhances it a little bit.
Well, it maximizes its potential. And some of the games, I think Metal Gear Solid Twin 6 was 480i compatible if you had the right setup. So it maximizes that. Of course, you're not going to get to 1080p or something. It's not going to do something that it literally cannot do.
It's actually listed as enjoy your GameCube's full potential. So
exactly.
That's basically what it
potential.
is. The best it can get.
Yes.
Wind Waker is going to look so good on this. Maybe I won't need the HD.
I think you still need the HD one. It's also a better version. That was a remaster.
Oh yeah, they fixed some of the water.
Yeah, they fixed some of the water and some of the like kind of the weird pay gaps in the game. Like you have to have like 10,000 rubies to pass this certain area to actually progress in the game.
Today you can just buy those.
So
money.
no, well the thing is now they took that pricing out, so it's just about advancing through the areas. So I think I would still recommend. I love the Wind Waker one. I might just buy it just to have it. But even if it looks really good, I still think if the Wii U, you already have it and stuff, probably the best option is to get that one. Or who knows, hopefully it comes to Switch like everything else we keep begging for on Switch, including GameCube games. So.
Alright, so do you want to open it up and then we can just kind of...
You know what, I'll let you... You have more unboxing experience, so unbox it.
Ooh.
There you go. It's like an engagement ring.
Yeah, it is. It's really cute. It comes with a little operations manual, like the very, very, very tiny operations manual. Ooh, it looks really cool. It has like the company info on there. And it has also the GameCube kind of like, basically the GameCube logo. I mean, it's a little bit different than what the GameCube logo is, but it's kind of reminiscent of that. And then it's packaged really securely. A little piece just fell out. I think it's probably just a warranty type thing. So yeah, this is what it looks like. And then here's where you actually like can plug it into the back of the system.
Another thing you should know, I think everyone knows already, but you need to get a GameCube that has an analog and digital AV out. You need to have these two. When they continued to release the GameCube, they took that out as a cost-effective measure. Most people didn't have HD TVs. We already talked about how expensive those component cables were, so they were like, well, why have it on there? It's cheaper to take it out and no one's missing it. The problem with that now is that if you want to use something like this, you need to have it. A lot of GameCubes do have it. I bought this one kind of just on coincidence. I didn't even check for that, and it already had it. So a good amount do. It's not hard to get. It's not rare or anything like that. Just if you really want to get the best GameCube possible, it needs to be one that has the digital AV and the analog AV out options. So just something to think about if you want to invest in the GameCube long term. Yeah, you really gotta click it in there.
Yeah, you can actually hear, well, I
wish I held hear it click.
I wish I held it up, but
pretty clear that when it's all the way in, that's one of the
So that should be good. I mean, we'll know once we plug it in if it's working or not. I mean, if we put it in all the way, but I did hear it click. So yeah, you basically just plug it into the digital AV out and the analog AV out. Yep. And then on the side here is where the
HDMI, you put it in and it should work as long as everything else is hooked up properly.
Alright, so now we're going to go ahead and actually test this out with some games, see what they looked like without this. So I'll actually maybe take this guy out. There we go. It's a little bit tight in there, but I mean, it kind of should be, right? You don't want it falling out while midway through play.
There's another product like this that was a little loose, and actually the fact that it was loose did damage GameCubes, and they had to do a recall because it was too sensitive, and a couple people shook it up, and it completely destroyed their GameCube, made it unusable, and also destroyed the product. So yeah, I think I'd rather have the complaint of it's too tight than another product that was a little too loose and actually ended up damaging it. They were really good about it. They've been doing recalls, but obviously that's not what you want. So
yeah, for sure. So we'll see what this looks like without, just on its own, and then what it looks like at its fullest potential. and then we'll just take a look at the comparison and let you guys see for yourself on how this pans out.
So we'll be right back.
Alright, so we did the side-by-side comparison. It's not the best footage just because it is technically just off my iPhone, so I think that kind of naturally makes everything look a little bit nicer for some reason, and obviously it's not, like, accurate to what, like, we actually see when we're, like, playing the GameCube, but just to kind of give you guys an idea, we have that dropped in. As far as kind of how this panned out, it wasn't quite as magical as I thought it would be. Like, it definitely increases, like, the color. Like, the color is darker and kind of crisper. But from seeing other people's reviews, it seemed like a really drastic difference. And in some games that seemed kind of true, and then others it seemed a little bit less true. So, like, when we did it for Smash Bros., like, it was a bit more crisp, but not, like, anything too extreme. For Luigi's Mansion, I think that was the best one. That both of us can agree it looked like the clearest difference. And then Resident Evil just doesn't look good. And then at first too, so when we first booted up Smash Brothers, like, it didn't look good at all. Like, it looked really, really fuzzy, and we're like, oh, something has to be wrong. And apparently you have to, like, do this thing where you hold down B when the console starts up, and then that pops up. What is the thing?
Progressive scan.
Progressive scan, and then that, like, kind of configures it properly. There's also an IR, is it IR scan mode? Is that the other?
IR sensor.
IR sensor. Yeah, so you can press the back of the HDMI, and this is all detailed in the instructions here, like the pressing of, like, B, and then this is about, like, the extra modes. So you can click that and have your remote configured so that you can go into, like, the in-depth settings. And I tried doing that to see if it would look better, because I felt like it wasn't really quite up to par as to what I expected it to look like when it had the adapter in there. And the settings don't really do a whole lot. Like, there's a couple things, like, with adding or removing lines. There's stuff with, like, color contrast. There's, like, a few general things, like taking off the resolution thing in the corner of the screen, but, like, there wasn't really anything that could kind of help with some of the issues I was seeing, which one of the main ones is that, especially for Luigi's Mansion, like, I don't think it really came up on camera, but, like, when you look, like, when Luigi's, like, facing you, you can see he's kind of, like, he, like, sort of looks like he's deteriorating or kind of almost loading. It's not super extreme, but it is noticeable. Like, his, like, the pixels get a little patchy. Like, it still looks better, but it kind of looks like it's pushing so hard that it kind of, it can't, like, can only go so far.
Well, in his defense, he's in a haunted mansion looking for his lost brother. I mean, like, you wouldn't be disheveled in that situation. Maybe you wouldn't because of who I am, but, I mean, just think about the generic family member looking for their sibling in a haunted mansion that they've inherited. I think it's hard for him not to look shaken up, so.
So what did you think of the...
I would have to say overall I am happy, but also underwhelmed a little. I did think it would be a grander difference. I think definitely the phone does not do it justice. And the phone, both versions kind of look good, and one looks slightly better. And I think in real life, there's definitely a, like, if we would say if we give it school grades, the GameCube gets a B, and this gets like an A-. Not an A+, but an A-, where I feel like, yeah, it definitely improves it. I don't think really you could argue that. I think if you argue that, you're probably not going back and looking. If you look at it's the jump's small enough where you could be like, oh, it's not that big a difference. But then when you go back, you're like, oh yeah, I can feel it. And I think this will happen less now because of the era we live in. But I think if we get used to playing on this GameCube and then we play on other people's GameCubes, we'll be like, oh yeah, this looks way, like, messed up. So I think once we get used to it, it'll be the standard, and we won't want to go back. And we'll just kind of be used to, oh, this is how the GameCube looks like. Actually, that's only because we have this adapter. But even so, I was a little underwhelmed. It isn't a modification. Maybe a mod would really fix all those things. Maybe the TV, there's another factor. Maybe there's settings we can set for that would maybe make it look a little better. Maybe making it a 4:3 instead of the 16:9 or something like that, even though we did play with it. Yeah. So I think it's fine. And I kind of prefer just having the screen a little more stretched out, even if that means it looks not as good. Overall, if I had to go back, I still would buy it because...
Aspect ratio is the word for that.
Yes, if I had to go back, I still would buy it because I just love the GameCube so much, and I'd always just be curious how it looks. So, I can't say that I'm disappointed. I can say, looking at it now, definitely more of a product for someone who, again, if you're even considering buying this, you probably should. That's what it is. If you're like $150, that's way too much money. Then yeah, don't buy it because you're already in that mind state. That cheap mind state. So hey man, I don't care. I don't have a channel. So I said it's not Gameonysus. You're on the cheap mind state that $150 is way too much to spend. So yeah, you shouldn't spend it then. Because you'll probably be like, oh, it doesn't even look better. Oh, I could just play on my Wii. I never also understood that. I'm just gonna go on that rant. It's not the same thing. It's not the same thing. It's a different console.
It feels wrong.
It's a different console. That's you just saying you want to play the games. Okay, in that case, you can just get an emulator and play a lot of Nintendo games. Like you can get a mini NES and get an emulator. No, okay, you can add that part out. No shade, Nintendo. It's just an emulator, but okay. So I never understood that aspect of people who are like, oh, we'll just play it on the Wii. I'm like, I want to play it on the GameCube. It was intended for the GameCube. There's some nostalgia to it. It's not the same thing, and I still think that
except like it's not actually a cube.
This product is good for anyone who, if you really have a passion for the GameCube and you don't want to go the extra mile of actually getting it modified. I still think that's probably the best. Just getting a built-in HDMI mod is probably a better route. I haven't done a compare and contrast for that, but I'm gonna guess that's probably the best. But I think this is a happy medium. Like you're halfway there. You got something better. It's clearly better. I don't think you can argue it's not better, especially if you see it in person. But I think you can say that there maybe are better options. Maybe another option would be just doing a straight up modification to the GameCube itself, making it region free, doing stuff like that. This also works with the Game Boy Advance player, which we didn't test out because we don't have that. That might be something I get. I haven't decided how deep I want to go into this GameCube thing. I know I want to go way deeper. I want to get like a good 20 plus game library. And I've talked to you about having some nostalgia for the Game Boy Advance as well. And we'll see if I get one of those. Probably yeah. But yeah, I'm still happy with it. Not as happy as I thought I'd be, and not as excited as I was before. So it's a classic birthday there. But I'm definitely happy I got it. I do not feel upset about getting it. If I could go back in time, I would be like, we still got to get it because it's just gonna eat me alive thinking I have a better option for the GameCube and I'm not taking it. So yeah, I'm happy with the product. And if I had to give it a rating, a solid. Again, that's 7, 8. I guess I would go with 8.
Yeah, I agree.
I think it's a healthy 8, a solid 4 if you're going 4 to 5 stars. Not phenomenal, and if you're already kind of a hater on this, or you think it's too pricey, or you don't understand why someone would buy it, then yes, this will not convince you. But if you're like, hey, I want to have a better GameCube experience than what I have right now, I think this will be a good investment.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to having it. But yeah, I think I overhyped it in my head a little bit, or like a lot, but that was also just based on, in no way throwing shade, a lot of the compare contrast videos that I looked up before from just like other YouTubers, it just looked a lot more stark, and I think there are games where it does look like a really big difference. Like I said, Luigi's Mansion was like a huge difference.
Luigi's Mansion definitely was.
But there are some games that don't really it doesn't really do a whole lot for. So I agree with basically everything you said. With the addition that since a lot of Nintendo games are not going for realism, I think that's also where this adapter shines, because I think it seems to do kind of best with the more like cartoony stuff rather than like the stuff that's going for like a realistic look, which is why I think like maybe Resident Evil didn't look better, or at least was less impressive. Like maybe it did actually have the same coloring, but maybe it's already such an unrealistic looking game that like this just it becoming better doesn't have as much of an impact.
We've seen Resident Evil look better. Resident Evil's been ported so much. We kind of know it's a realistic looking game, so we know what it can look like, and that kind of clouds your memory. It's not just a bunch of Luigi's Mansion clones where you're like, oh, there's a Luigi's Mansion clone out for the PS4, so I have an expectation for what a game that has a guy trying to save his brother hunting ghosts in a vacuum looks like. Resident Evil has a bunch of games. It's been ported. The GameCube version that I just kind of got it again just for nostalgia and kind of for love for the GameCube. If you want to play Resident Evil 1, there are better ways to play it than on the GameCube, so I just kind of got it for that, and I think it shows in both versions. It looked better, but sometimes actually the Christmas kind of exposed the flaws even more. The long story short, happy with the product. It's very solid. Again, you want to get a maximum experience on the GameCube. Maybe look into a modification from someone who knows what they're doing.
Yeah, I think if you're already spending $150, I think that's the thing. So
no, because the mod's gonna cost you more. You're
really?
looking at you're looking at like closer to 3 to 4, especially if you want to get region locked and stuff. This is definitely the cheapest option.
If you're not super cheap, but you're also not bougie, this might be for you. Or you are bougie, so if you're a bougie gamer, a bougie nostalgia gamer, this is for you. And if you're also kind of lazy, I know for me, like I do want to learn more of the technical stuff, but not now. You know, it's the classic, like, I don't want to do it down the line. Like, right now, how can I play this and look better, and have it look better? And this is the answer to that question.
Yeah, so I'm excited to finish Luigi's Mansion. I'm not sure if I'm going to finish Prince of Persia, because it's like 12 hours. And I'm going to definitely get F-Zero GX, and Metroid Prime I'm pretty sure I'm going to get, so rebuy. So I'm excited to play those games here on your TV using the birthday present I got, and hopefully we can play. We're gonna go back to playing some Melee in the next 5 minutes or so. So I'm looking forward to it.
Alright, sounds good. So thanks for checking this out, guys. Be sure to give this video a thumbs up. Be sure to comment below and let us know if you've gotten any modifications to systems, if you've bought products like this, if you're interested in doing this. Do you love the GameCube as much as us, or are you just playing your GameCube games on Wii? Let us know what's up in the comments below. And I don't know what other videos you might want to see Edwin guest on or have Edwin come on for. And be sure to subscribe to this channel if you have not already subscribed. And we will see you here next time. Bye.
The bloopers are going to be better than me. Alright. Pass it to me again. Okay. Sad puppies. Okay, so basically what this is, and why I'm excited about it, is that it's supposed to help. Come on.
Sorry.
Alright.
Alright, go ahead.
I can't do it. I can't do it.
You done?
Alright, game face. Alright.
Alright.
I'm done.
Sure.
Now go ahead.
Hey guys, Janet here, aka Gameonysus, and today we are
Sorry, I got the giggles. Alright, I'm gonna get. Alright, cool. So, basically, I'm from the generation that the GameCube was made from. Yeah, it sounds weird. Let's try again. I'm from the generation. Alright, let's try it again.